Got some beautiful white flowers blooming. Let's take a quick tour. We are at the very end of September, and I have some gorgeous cosmos that are in full bloom, and then my morning glories just finally my morning glories just finally started blooming, and they are just spectacular. Growing morning glories up my bird cage arbor. You can see them up there, and they look absolutely stunning. If you're looking for a moon garden flower, I highly recommend growing morning glories. Look at this variety. Beautiful, pure white. Looks amazing against the backdrop of the green. And this took forever to get going. I ended up planted this from seed in March, and even with everything that I've done, planting it early, it still took forever. I didn't bloom until September. I'd like to be able to get them to bloom in early August. I think my soil was too rich. And what happens is you get one bloom a day, and at the end of the day, they close up and they look like this, and they're spent. And then that will turn into seed, and I'm going to collect some of those seeds. So it comes off there. And then these little this leftover area here is where the seed will develop. But yeah, it's just really beautiful. I'm so glad that I picked this variety. I just want it to bloom a little earlier. And you can see how, this is a vine, so it's going like crazy inside of the deal. But you can see, hopefully you can see all of these. So all of these areas down the vine here will become flowers. They'll be just completely covered with cascading flowers as we go on, which I'm really looking forward to. Then I also have cosmos here that really need to be deadheaded. So one note for next year is I need to tie these up so they stay upright. They need support because when they get heavy branches on them, they blow over. And so then it looks like this. And then you can collect the seed, of course, which I've already collected a ton of seed, but it crumbles in your hand just easily. If you scatter this on the ground, it will actually reseed, which is kind of nice if you want to naturalize an area. The bees are doing their thing. But if I take a look up at this vine growing up, look at the inside. I also have a blue moon wisteria growing on the gazebo, so that's the understory. So that blooms in June. And I decided to use the same trellising system to put this white morning glory on it. And the heart-shaped leaves are just beautiful. They're huge. Look at how big some of them are. So here's my hand. Just the heart-shaped leaves look really good. We have had significant rain, so my guess is it probably could use a little bit of fertilizer, but they like to be grown in just plain dirt. Morning glories do not like overly rich soil, which is probably why I didn't get flowers right away. But I mean, it is growing and growing and growing, and that came from the ground as a little seed. Look at how much it grew. Crazy. Continue walking around here. I've had a lot of bunny pressure, so I have some bunny cages to try to capture them, but let's take a look at this. They're just beautiful and flowing. And they are actually at the point where, I really do need to kind of cut them back. They're laying all over the ground. You can just see how they get too big. If I would have pruned it back, it probably would have been better. And then just split like that. So I'll probably come through here next week and I'll cut these back. And then maybe next year I'll just do a better job of pruning them. Maybe they'll stay in a smaller form. And they're just a beautiful sea of white. And when I'm out here in the morning or in the evening, seeing the white, it really glows just like it should for a moon garden. Here is my Dusty Miller that actually survived. A lot of them I had such severe bunny pressure. They just chewed the daylights out of it. So here's one is untouched by the bunnies for whatever reason. And then this one was chewed off. They must have felt safer in this location. But yeah, as I continue to go around, you can see how beautiful the gazebo is. We got Sophie in there. So I think I'll start at the back of the border garden in the birdcage garden. And you can see how that white cosmos just really pops with the green. Don't know that I'll put this many white cosmos in this area. I think it's a little bit too much. Although because this is a newer border for me just this year, it was a nice filler. The evergreens that I have in here are Moonglow Junipers, and they have this silvery blue foliage, and they're looking pretty good. I'm not liking the fact that the cosmos in some places are gobbling them up, probably putting a little pressure on them in a way that's probably not productive. Like this poor little guy in here, he's being ravaged. Probably hard to grow when you're being strangled. Might have to get that one out of there. Boy, on their own, they are just quite lovely. I look forward to them being bigger next year. Where I put these Eskimo marigolds in, which is an annual, maybe next year what I'll do is instead of planting these, because I really don't like them, they're more yellow than white. You can really see the contrast between the Eskimo marigolds and the white cosmos. So what I think I may do is just dot 3 of the cosmos in the front here on each side, and then use I've got some nice white snapdragons I'm going to use next year to fill in. I'll plant them from seed. I've got some beautiful white poppies that are not in bloom right now, and they're beautiful as well. It's called Royal Wedding. And they're actually doing okay at that. They were struggling. We had so much rain, but I think it's doing much better now. And then I've got some delphiniums in here that have finished blooming. I've got some white woodland asters, which are a spring bloom. A couple of dappled willows in here, and I keep cutting them back. They'll stay here for a little bit, and then I will move them to a different garden. But for right now, I needed something fast growing to flag the entrance. So this is my fern leaf bleeding heart. It's the second bloom for this year. It bloomed a long time in the spring, and then it took a break and it's blooming again. And it's got a kind of a beautiful bluish foliage on it, and then the white flowers. So that's kind of a nice choice. This one's again white diamonds, the bleeding heart. And it's been pretty much in full sun. And it's doing just fine in my zone. I'm in zone 4 outside of Minneapolis. And here I have a delphinium that I grew from seed as well. This is a white one. It's not in bloom right at the moment. It's going to open up again. This one over here is done blooming for now. And I'm going to collect those seed heads, and then I will plant some more for next year. And I also have some coneflowers in here. This variety is called Powwow White, and it's a pretty bright white. I'm a little bit in the shade right now, but it's pretty bright white, and I really like it. So again, this is Powwow White. It's like a newer type of coneflower. And here are the variety of snapdragons I have. These are a white snapdragon. I got the seeds from Johnny's Seeds this year and planted them, and I'm going to be collecting seeds from these to be able to use next year. I can move this so you can see it a little better. Hopefully you can see that a little better. There, I'll put it against the blue sky so you can really get a good look at it. It's a nice, beautiful white color. or white snapdragons, and I'll put those in that border garden next year. And ironically, I had this wild yarrow pop up in one of my containers and I decided to leave it. I think I might actually transplant this into the garden. They tend to spread quite a bit. I don't like that idea, but they are pretty hardy. And look at the foliage on the yarrow. It's just gorgeous, feathery looking. It looks like a fern. Again, hopefully you can see just how beautiful white. It's really bright white. Another drought tolerant plant I got is this white liatris. I was trying to buy some online on Facebook Marketplace, but everybody was so far away that I was glad to see it at the store. And this variety is called Florestine Alba, Alba meaning white. But I think this will look good in that border garden over there as well. You can see adding annuals into a moon glow garden can add quite a bit of character. Because perennials only bloom for 1 to 2 weeks, typically, maybe 4 weeks if you're lucky. But you can see just how much character these beautiful annuals add, especially the cosmos that dance in the wind. They just need a little bit more support. If you enjoyed this garden tour, give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows to share this content with others. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss any of our other great videos. If you like garden tours, check this playlist next. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.